friends. This is James and Cara, and we are Kerouacs Cruising.
We are taking you on a journey, traveling the country with our dogs and finding remote places where the dogs
And us
can roam free and play while we discuss life's growths, beauty, and some struggles along the way.
We recommend pairing our episodes with our blog at kerouacscruising.com, where we organize accurate information in an easy-to-follow format, removing all of the conversational goodies.
The link for this episode's blog post is in the show notes.
We encourage you to join the conversation by commenting where you listen, engaging with us on Facebook or Instagram at Kerouacs Cruising, or email us at join@kerouacscruising.com.
In the meantime, thanks for tuning in. Sit back and enjoy the journey. Hi, guys. Good morning.
Good morning.
James and Cara from Kerouacs Cruising. We are on an adventure today, still in the Panhandle of Idaho. We've talked about Lightning Creek in this area. Well, we're going to
go ahead and in the show notes, we'll have the link to the Lightning Creek episode, because these two episodes definitely tie in together, but it was a few episodes back. So we'll link them together for you guys.
So, we're still trying to just explore this area. A friend told us about a spot off of Trestle Creek that actually connects to Lightning Creek. So we're off and running, and we're checking out this spot. We left downtown Sandpoint off the 95 and took the 200 east. We took the 200 east heading toward Clark Fork and Pack River. If you really pay attention to our episodes, all the recreation seems to head out this east direction. So we're heading to Clark Fork, and before you get to Clark Fork, there's a left, and it will say Trestle Creek Recreation Area left, and you take that left, and then it will come to some signs, and it pretty much tells you that until you get 4 miles back, it is private property.
Yes, you don't really be picking up dust. Don't be an asshole through this area.
Yeah, for the first 4 miles of this road is private. So, keeping it calm. So that was a left off the 200 on the Trestle Creek Road, Trestle Creek Recreation Area, and that is private property 4 miles in. And we're halfway through the trip, and it's been great.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead, Cara.
I was just going to say, the first thing you come to on Trestle Creek is, and I think it's actually before you start the neighborhood. So it must, borders are not square. So it must be weird the way the National Forest borders are. But you come to the Trestle Creek day use area, and we estimate that might be about 20 minutes outside of town. But of course, we're going to have that all mapped out on the blog. And it's a really nice spot. So if you're not camping, you're just hanging out in Sandpoint for whatever reason, maybe you're skiing in the area, you're enjoying the beautiful Lake Pend Oreille, family brought you here, like is our case. The Trestle Creek day use area is an absolutely gorgeous spot to escape to nature, get out of the hustle and bustle of town. They've got vault toilet, they've got picnic tables, so you can bring lunch, picnic out there. They also have Trestle Creek runs through there, and there's some hiking around there. So it's a really, really beautiful area just to chill out for the afternoon and enjoy the gorgeous mountains and all of these stunning trees.
The views around here. And then as you leave that day use area, you're going to be driving up still in private property, like she said. But the first real thing when you're out 4 miles, I'm pretty sure, is they have snowmobile parking lot. And if that's the way it's advertised, they have two sides of the roads. You can pull in there and park. And it says snowmobile parking, but in the summertime, it did have a sign that said recreational ATVs, motorcycles, dirt bikes or whatever, and off-road vehicles were permitted on those roads. So they had a parking lot specifically for that. You pull in, it had vault toilets. You could park your trailer and take off your toys, whether it be snowmobiles, dirt bikes, or ATVs. Yeah, we've seen a lot of side-by-sides.
Yeah, oh yeah. A lot of dirt bikes too, romping around. Yeah,
a lot of dirt bikes. And you do got to go, pay attention on that road. And
it's a windy mountain cliffside road.
Yeah, it's cliffside. Yeah.
You don't want to go down, and you don't want to send somebody else down the embankment. So obviously be courteous. You don't want to be speeding around these S corners, but you take your time. You don't want to speed through it. It's absolutely beautiful. The driver wants to enjoy the view too without driving you off the cliff. You got the creek running along the right side of you for a while, and you're just winding through and climbing up an elevation. This is a great spot to hang out in the summer because it might be 90 degrees in town, but you got 70.
It was 90 degrees in town today, and when we got there, it's been about 80 degrees. For a while we were at 75, but we've been hovering 80 degrees right now. So after you leave the snowmobile park, you'll be heading up into the national forest, and you will come to a campground called Huckleberry Campground. And that
everything's Huckleberry up here.
Yeah, everything.
We keep saying it in every episode, but everything is Huckleberry.
It is Huckleberry. So this campsite is on Trestle Creek, and it's a free campsites, but it's first come, first serve, and really doesn't really have to, it's dry camping at its best. You're going to have very limited resources there, but they do have the creek, you know, and they had vault toilets. So just know that everything else, you know, you're on your own for.
Check out our website for the most up-to-date information.
Go on the blog.
It's free, but of course, as it gets popular, the National Forest could decide to charge for it at any time.
Yeah, we'll have a link there for you, and you can click on it, and you know. But it was a cool spot. After you leave there, and like Cara was saying, now you're into switchbacks, like you're hiking, but switchbacks in a car. And you're carving your way up through a mountain gorge, basically.
Mountain views, man.
And going up an elevation probably 2,000-3,000 feet from where we left. And you just come on tree level, and you're just looking at just mountains
for days
all around you.
It's gorgeous. You're in the mountains.
So then you're in the mountains, and you go up and up and up, and it's just that the view. That's what you're going out there for, the views. And there's some pull-offs. Like there's one spot, there's a trail about halfway up to the top, or probably 3/4 of the way up to the top. You can pull over to the right, and they have a trailhead on the left, trailhead 55. And I will have that marked out exactly where that trailhead starts. We didn't hike it, but my son camps there during hunting season, and he'll be at that pull-off camping, looking out a glassing out his back window. And when he sees something, he runs down that trail and tries to get it. He has been unsuccessful. So it sounds to me like a feat.
So far. Well, he
animals run pretty fast along the side of the mountain.
He likes to do things to the extreme. He likes to move his body. But we've been coming up here since we got here. So we got here obviously May 1st-ish. You know, I think it was April 29th or some noise like that. But so we've been here through spring, through summer, and now we're coming into fall. I mean, we just said it was 90 degrees today, but yesterday I think the high was like 65, or maybe that was the day before. So we're coming into fall. All the leaves are changing. We've been here for all seasons, and one of the things I really have absolutely fallen in love with this area, and doing this drive, you really get to witness that. It doesn't matter what time of the year, as long as there's no snow on the ground, there is always something blooming. Like, you got a lot of green, it's evergreens, and tons of obviously leafy trees too. Yeah, everything's green. But there's so many wildflowers, and they all bloom in different stages. There's always something blooming. So of course you have the snow melt, the spring bloom, things bloom throughout the summer, and now we've got all these white flowers around, and there's purple like thistle-like flowers, and there's all these berries that are starting to come out. And so there's just all of these gorgeous pops of color all over as you're driving alongside of the road. It's just, it's really blowing my mind, because as I feel like everything should start to be dying off because we're coming into fall, we're getting more and more pops of color, and it's just been a really
this area is crazy. There is so many different berries, and everything pretty much grows here.
Yeah, anything.
Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, huckleberries.
I don't know what those red bushy ones are. I know Ryan told us last year when we were here, but they're blooming all over the place right now, and I think just about everything is edible. If you were feeling adventurous, there's some things. I think we're told the Oregon grape, if you eat too many, it'll make you nauseous. I think that goes with anything in moderation. But it's been a really special experience.
Like Cara was saying, everything's blooming. There's just this. It's straight wilderness in this area, basically, just so vast.
Yeah. With the exception of the wildfire stuff, I mean, there's just nothing but beauty out here. And it's you can tell, untouched kind of raw land. I mean, obviously you can see where people pull off. There is dispersed camping everywhere out here. There is
you got to find
roads
it though.
Everywhere. We're here Labor Day weekend, so it's a lot of occupied spots. But really, when you think about it, or when we've been driving around, how much traffic we've seen, we haven't seen as much traffic as we would see driving around at home around the Grand Canyon. Yeah. So it is a holiday weekend, and people are out and about more than normally when we come out here, which would typically be on like a Tuesday or a Thursday, like in the middle of the week, and people are at work. That's usually when we do our adventuring. This happens to be Saturday on a holiday weekend, but there still hasn't been a whole crazy amount of traffic, and we found a spot. So There
a
is
lot of places
there's
for
a lot
day
of places
use,
to go. Yeah, to go
overnight
hang out.
campers, dry campers. You know, you don't have electricity and nothing.
No,
So,
tons of spaces to visit and hang out and can't set up camp.
And so we are still just traveling on Trestle Creek, and we're gonna, after we get past the top, and you're hovering on the mountain ridge, basically, and it is straight down when you're looking down from the edge of the vehicle. But you're just gonna follow that road, and you're gonna take the first right when you come to a three-way intersection, and then that's gonna start Lightning Creek, and it's kind of Lightning Creek, Trestle Creek there, because then you're gonna follow that road down to where we're going today. If you were to take a left right
follow
there,
the signs for Lightning Creek.
yeah, if you were to take a left right there, you would head up to Lund Peak Lookout. That is a lookout, used to be a old fire tower. They would go there and look for fires in the region. It's way up high and views 360, unbelievable. And the road stops there. And they turned it into like an Airbnb now that you can rent at night, and dog friendly. Sunrise, sunsets are just for days. But the place we're looking for today, so to get out to Lunch Peak Lookout Tower, you would take a left at that three-way intersection, but we're taking a right today, and we are looking for some waterfalls and a campsite that I was told that was unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
So you take that right, it's Lightning Creek. You follow that down, and this, again, dispersed camping, really nice views everywhere, really nice drive. You're doing 15 miles per hour, dirt road, mountainous road. You come down, and you're going to come to another three-way intersection. The main focal point to the left on that one is a lake called Moose Lake. We haven't investigated that too much. It's a pretty long drive. We're already an hour in from Sandpoint, where we are now. So you're going to come down, and you're going to come to that intersection. You're going to take a right. After you take that right, that's going to be Lightning Creek. And me and Cara's investigated that pretty good, but we missed a road. And after you take the right here, you're going to follow that down, and we will have it mapped out. You're going to take the next left, and that road goes down, and it just ends at a trailhead. And you walk out to that trailhead, and there's campsites that have benches, and there is a waterfall and a gorge that goes through there. That is just spectacular. I'm going to let Cara talk about it. I walked out first because we thought we were going to have a hangout there with the dogs. Labor Day weekend, there was a family of 5, and I was pretty optimistic. When I ran into them on the trailhead, they made it look like they were heading back to the truck. Well, they didn't, and they actually, in fact, had more people show up to go out there. They were probably going to picnic out there. But it was spectacular, and then another car pulled in after that. So now we got 4 cars in the parking lot of this place.
It's a great spot for us to go back and check out later.
I don't even think it has a name or nothing. This is one of those spots. There's no sign to get in. You drive down.
You just see the trail at the end of the parking lot. Yep. There's no sign.
The road stops, and again, no sign, just a trail. You go down that trail, and you come out to a gorge and waterfalls. And there is a pool that you can swim in right there that looks about waist high.
So sad we couldn't.
There was so many people there. We had the dogs.
It wasn't even fun for us. Yeah, and
it's
too warm to leave the dogs in the truck, and so we just
today's 81 degrees up here.
Yeah, we decided to go find another spot. But man, so James went and scoped it out first to try to see if it was worth us trying to take the dogs out there. And of course, the family, we decided to eat first, enjoy our lunch, hoping that these guys were going to leave. And then, like he said, they had more people show up, and then another vehicle showed up full of people. So we opted to dip out. But before we dipped out, James was like, you should go check it out. You should go see it before we leave. And so I walked out there, and the main trail, when you go out, it verges to the right. And again, we're going to have this pinned on our website. You just
go on the blog,
check it out. There's no service out here, so you have to screenshot the map or download the Google map of it so that you can find your way out here, or at least listen to James's advice on how to get here the Trestle Creek way. But this beautiful spot, so it's a nice wide trail, and then you're going to see that it forks, and you can continue to take the nice wide trail to the right. And that's where there's a fire pit. There's some benches out there, a whole picnic area over to the right, camping space. To the left, it's a narrow trail, and that'll take you directly to, you're standing above these waterfalls. And there's this big, deep pool below you and these steep cliff walls. And it just looked like the most serene and beautiful. I could have just stayed there for the rest of the day. Like, I just so desperately wanted to dive into this water and play and relax and just soak it all in. It just seemed so serene and perfect. I wanted to watch the dogs run around and play on these rocks and in the water and shower under the waterfall. It's not a huge waterfall. It might be 3 feet high. You know, it's multiple steps, stairs, stories, but it's
in the spring. It's got to be absolutely crazy.
With the snow melt. Oh, I'm sure it's insane.
Just this is fall, and they haven't had much rain.
Not much rain.
But still impressive. And the pool of water that you can swim in is probably waist high, and
I think it's deeper, but yeah, you won't know until you're in it.
Yeah, because it's so crystal clear.
Yeah, water.
And that water's so cold. Oh, I can't wait to go in it.
Oh, it's
so that's pretty much where we're at. We went a little. We
will pin it, of course, and we're going to go back. So there's going to be more about that in a future episode. There's no way I'm not going to go check this out. And it's such a serene and beautiful place. I feel like other people being around is going to take away from it. And we just love enjoying these.
We know that if we come during the week, it's so far out. This is a remote spot.
Mm-hmm.
You're driving out
like James
on
said,
back
it's over
roads.
an hour from Sandpoint.
So it's over an hour from Sandpoint. And you're driving out on dirt roads, and you come out here, and it is something like you read in books. Yeah. It's so surreal when you get up on it.
We didn't take any pictures because we just looked at it. You know, we didn't actually experience it. So
we want you to tune in to the next episode when we're out at this waterfall before we leave.
Your nails waiting for the details of this.
We are going to get pictures here, and we are in the next. We're leaving here in 3 weeks, so we got 2 weeks to get this thing nailed down. But we got some other investigating to do in the areas. But this day was a good day. Yeah. We went up Trestle Creek. Everybody should come up this way if you're in the Sandpoint area or passing through, whatever. If you're in the Panhandle and you like the outdoors, this is grizzly bear country.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely have a sign of Cara will have to put on that. But just a great spot in the middle of nowhere along a creek the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And you go from 3,000 feet in elevation to 6,000 feet in elevation back to 3,000 feet. And them numbers could be off, but they're not off by much.
Yeah. Oh, it's a beautiful ride. I love coming out here. I crave coming out here. It's hard because it's a whole day event. Like, we got up, you know, it's our day off, so we didn't want to get up too early. So
we didn't leave the house till after 11.
8, you know, hung out until 9. Then we started motivating ourselves. Like he said, it's 11 o'clock before we finally roll out, finally getting on the dirt road at 12:30. And it's just, you know, it's an all day thing, and we got to go home for dinner. So we just don't get out here as much as we would like to, but
if you're in this area, this is
to come out here. You won't even believe how beautiful it is. The forest is truly like something out of a fairy tale. Like, it's more beautiful than anything you can imagine. I understand how people will tolerate the dark, long winters here in order to be able to experience this place in the summertime, because it's something special. Absolutely. It's gorgeous.
Cool area. We bought a GoPro, and we're going to try to do the stars.
Yes, you guys, GoPro. So I think what we're going to do, I haven't even discussed this with James yet, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to do our different adventures, videoing it on our GoPro, or videoing Norman taking our various adventures on our GoPro, and then just post those fairly soundless. Maybe we'll put some music to it. Maybe we'll talk through it. It'll just be an extra addition to, we'll have our website or our podcast where you can listen to us talk about our adventures, our blog where you can get the details of our adventures and all the links, but then the GoPro or the YouTube where you can actually witness what we got to witness. And I think that that's going to be an extra special
layer.
Yeah, exactly.
As we adventure around the GoPro, we wanted, and we thought about getting a digital camera, but we bought a harness and everything for Norman.
Oh my God, it's going to be so much fun. I cannot wait to
do this GoPro, and we are excited to see what comes about it. But anytime we go anywhere, now we can just strap that to our head also, not just on Norman, but then we can show you some of the views that we're seeing.
And
like today.
He doesn't know everything that I bought for it, but we got a mount for the vehicle too. So on these beautiful road trips that we're taking, where we are driving through these beautiful mountains. Yeah.
That's coming soon. The GoPro, that's going to be exciting. We are going to have that before we leave Idaho. So through Glacier, Red Lodge, Yellowstone, Grand Tetons.
Absolutely.
We're going to have that, and I can't wait to, figure out how to use it. So that'll be fun. But Panhandle is an amazing spot.
It's beautiful.
People should come here.
Spend time up here. It's gorgeous. It's really good.
So now we have done pretty much from Clark Fork, or however you look at it, from the Sandpoint 200 to the Clark Fork, taking a left to Lightning Creek. We have now done the Pack River, which is on the 200 East. That's the first thing you can do outside of Sandpoint. Then the second thing, and we kind of did it backwards, the second thing you can do is Trestle Creek, because you come to that road second. And then you come into downtown Clark Fork, which is cool because you can get snacks there. They got a nice store, and they got,
is it called the Pantry?
They got the pantry, the Mennonite
store. They do
really good
really
food,
good bread.
Yeah, really good food. All their stuff's good there. And then you take the left there, and there's a bar in town. So that's a little town. You take the left, and then you head out toward Lightning Creek there.
Or if you were to keep going down the 200, that would take you back
to
the Booze Cruise.
The Booze Cruise.
So you would eventually get on the 2 and head north through Montana.
It's actually not the 2. You actually take the 56. I just don't want to get people confused.
No, thank you. 56
and,
to the 2.
To the 2.
And then back to the 95.
Yeah, back to the 95. But yeah, so, we're doing this one road, so we barely scratched the surface of this area.
Talking about, there's another spot that's just west of where we're at called Grouse Creek, and we've heard about that place, that it's got a gorgeous waterfall that you can hike to the top of and then slide down,
and we haven't done it.
We haven't done it yet, but we're not going to stop coming here. We just got a grandbaby. We're going to be coming here at least every year, but hopefully every 6 months.
Every 6 months, we're coming here somehow, some way.
And bring to you guys as we discover it. I mean, the Panhandle isn't a huge area, but it's not a small area. And it's really, really...
Lots of stuff here.
Packed full of wilderness, deep wilderness, and beautiful, beautiful places.
Lakes.
Tons of water.
Rivers.
Waterfalls.
Streams. Creeks.
And just gorgeous mountains.
Alpine mountains. Lakes.
It's insane.
That's our day. We've had a good day. We've been out all day, and we're heading home soon. We want you guys to look at our blog. The blog, to me, is always exciting. I've been saying this now that I've been doing it. I read the blog, and I get excited to listen to the episode. So I do recommend that, but thanks for joining us always.
Yeah, and if you guys have any questions or want us to check out anything along the way, yes, please join the conversation. So we're getting ready to leave. Our tentative route is we're going to take that to heading east. We're going to hit Glacier, and then from Glacier, we're going to make our way into Red Lodge, Montana. From Red Lodge, Montana, probably Cody, Wyoming. We got to go see Christy. And from Cody, go into Yellowstone, make our way through Yellowstone, Grand Tetons, and then start making our way south into Utah, the North Rim, and then heading home. So if there's any places that you have on your bucket list of places you want to go to or that you've heard about, you want us to stop and check out, we've got the time. Let us go check it out for you. Give us an email, join@KerouacsCruising.com, post on our Facebook page @Kerouacs Cruising, DM us on Instagram, whatever it is. We would love to hear from you. We would love to check out a spot that you want to check out. And we're going to mention you on the podcast so you get to feel kind of famous. So we love you guys so much for your support. We actually yesterday just hit 200 listens, and we're
200 listens since we started.
Thank you guys for all of your support. You listening is what gets us up there, what gets us noticed. If you could take a moment, go ahead and subscribe, of course, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen, and give us a 5-star review, because again, that's how people find us. More people can learn about us and our journey, and that's how sponsors find us too. So that's going to help fund our journey. But meantime, we love you guys so much, and thanks
for listening. Until next time.